Hello, everybody. My name is Mr. Utah Mike, and I want to welcome you to my video this evening. You're looking at, I guess, what we call home. It's the extended stay America. It's in Midvale, Utah, and that's unfortunately what we've called home for at least 5 or last 6 months, and we kind of jumped a hotel loop probably for the last few years. I had a job um, back 2015, 2016, where I worked for a manager, and they gave us room and lodge. That was great. Had free rent, and then did the same thing for another hotel. It was actually another extended stay in the area, and I was there for almost another 6, 7 months. But probably for the last 2 years, we lived on our own. Um, Making ends meet has been a little bit more difficult. I lost my job towards the end of January this year, and I've been kind of been bouncing between jobs and surviving with help from others, of course. And now we've come to that roadblock where we're at kind of at the mercy of um, God and whoever else can help us and extend what we have to do. Um, just want to tell you, I'm going to be getting my last unemployment check. I'm doing this at 1 a.m. since I'm now working at Walmart from 3 to midnight, 5 days a week. So if you don't see videos in the future, that's what's been going on. So if I get a chance to do a video during the day before I leave, or do a video um, either on maybe another one of these recordings, I'll be trying to do those to keep active. I want to keep. Hopefully, everyone will keep subscribing even after what I have to say today. Um, it pains me to ask and scream or cry for help sometimes, because I think I can handle most everything, as they say, God gives me. I'm doing with the new job and everything else, and doing it sometimes got to the you're walking that plank of you don't want to look down, you don't want to look down, you want to look down, you hopefully you can cross the other side. And it's difficult. I've been married just a touch over 25 years, and my wife is fully disabled. She's has arthritis. She has a lot of little things going on. Gets around usually by wheelchair most of the time. Um, I'm scared because if we end up losing the place we live in, we end up getting split up, probably because usually shelters are usually they don't have married shelters, so we don't have kids. My wife and I have just had and the issues we've dealt with all our life, and her being medically probably not able to, it's been tough. And so since we don't have kids, the shelter puts us, in a almost like we're two singles. They'll split me up to a men's, they'll split her up to a female. And I've always said that is not that is not something I'd be willing to do. I'd be willing to do what I'm doing right now, is say, hey, can you please? And I know I've had some wonderful people out there. I can call them right out, tell them thank you again. But I don't think it's necessary or right or polite just to tell people by name thank you. But this has been a wonderful community for me, and a wonderful. Everyone is so kind. Everyone from the Digital Dice podcast that are always, you can tell from, and the Red Sox fan and the FOC. Yeah, this is a family of community we sit through. The Beatles internalies out there who celebrates subscribers or family members. We treat each other well. Since the pandemic, even we've really come as a group. Where I never thought I would have these many personal friends who I can sit and laugh with. Um, But let me go to my next slide and I'll explain why we're actually here today. Again, you see what I'm looking at. I'm going to go ahead and kind of read this. Um, can kind of give you an idea of what's going on. As you see, there's my PayPal account. PayPal is at familybose@yahoo.com. My Venmo is at Bose Mike, and my last four of my phone number is 5591. I was told that it is asked sometimes, so put those four numbers in if need be. Again, what's going on tonight is I'm probably going to be able to get my last unemployment check, because right now, since when I go ahead and apply for my benefits next week, they're going to laugh at me and say, sorry, you're now working full time, so now you're ineligible. So I was lucky I got it this week because I only had 5 hours of work for my job. My job, where I was supposed to have this great orientation, they sent me home early with 1 hour of work, and the next time we met, we did 4 more hours of orientation, and then they added the 5th hour from the day we were there before. So basically, I got a 5-hour paycheck, and like I'll mention here, it'll be enough just to probably cover another day here. Tomorrow morning, like it's already late already, I'm going to be probably paying 3-4 days, so that'll cover us probably till Thursday probably. And if I can cover another day, it might be Friday, and then we're not sure what to do. Again, and I'll explain my wife's paydays and when my paydays are and everything. So you know, I'm not bullshitting anyone here. I'm honestly coming and literally crying for help because we're just trying to make things work. Again, I'll explain why we're not able to get help right now from others. So what I'm looking for right now is we can help with renting part of our rent. Since you saw the place we live in, we pay about $380 a week. So it's what, if you multiply it by 4, yeah, I'm still paying about almost $1,600. If I get with this job and 80 hours a week, I should be able to make ends meet and have a little to play with every so often. Some payments will be paycheck to paycheck. I'll be living just like you guys, and we'll be fine with that. All right, I'll be sitting in bed with my wife, watch game videos or do videos with you guys, and just have my roof paid for me. So we're looking to help the remaining part, which would be about 200, because I know I can probably pay about 180, 200 for the next 3 or 4 nights. Looking for help with food, as we're trying to get a food order from our church, but it's been working full time right now at Walmart. It's been tough to get anything going on right now. Again, family here. My wife lost her father last summer, so her mom is helping us scale little here, little there, and she basically is now living on her own with one paycheck. Basically, she doesn't have her husband or my wife's dad to help her, and it's really hard. Her sister moved away about a year or so ago, and she doesn't have a lot of other family to assist. And our church is very strong in helping, but when you live in a hotel, their hands get tied, and they're not sometimes able to help completely. That's why we're trying to get an order, and we get one placed. I gave our address in case anyone wants to place kind of a simple grocery order for 2. We're just trying to get enough to get us through her paycheck till maybe next week or so. Stuff I can take for lunch, stuff we can make for dinner, and stuff like that. But you want to send the stuff we can order something on, because we do a lot of since I'm working at Walmart now, Walmart Plus will now be free to me, so that makes it pretty easy to do. So again, I'm looking for help with my wife's prescriptions. They're coming due. Great thing is her insurance does cover most, but she still has to pay her maximum at least $20 a month. She has 3 sitting right now in the pharmacy for about $12, and she still has others that'll probably be due in about a week, if not less than that. She takes meds for pain, for arthritis and depression, and also her daily meds. She takes between 12 and 13 meds. So again, then trying to avoid the whole possibility of a shelter. Because again, her to have to take meds with her or stuff like that is just is I'm not going to be able to help her. I've been trying to be the one who's helped her all her life, and it's sometimes extremely difficult. And this would almost make it impossible. Now, moving forward, she gets paid on the first, which is about roughly 9 days away. It's not too bad. We just need to get our rent covered until about the 29th or 30th, and then I think she gets paid a week from Friday. Now, besides my check this week, that only have about 5 hours on it. That will then be uh, again my next paycheck after that will be about the ninth of May. It's probably 2 weeks from Friday after, and that's after she pays a week. I can pay a week, like I said here. She'll be able to cover a week, then I'll be able to cover another week, and then I could basically pay up until my next paycheck, and then we should be getting back on the right track. We've been on the right track. This is the first time you've ever heard from me even asking this. But being without a rent and just getting not much of unemployment a week and finding work and having jobs that refuse to put you on the schedule like I just had, it's just been so crazy stressful. And I don't expect anyone to react to this and not help. But again, like I'll mention, I'm sorry for those who are hearing me read this, and I do fully apologize for this. Let me see if I can continue reading what I've tried to write so far. It's so made it easier for me to write everything out. Again, like I said, I'm sorry for those who are hearing me read this. Normally, I've been putting this on a community tab, and I'm honestly not sure if I'm going to get help anymore for my brothers. I have one brother who's helped me, but he's having a lot of issues with taxes, and I just got another brother who basically yells and screams at me like I'm a screw up because how things have gone in my life. It's that difficult. Again, I want to say thank you. There's people out there who have reached out and been there like like family. He's been there to help. So this is more of a thank you and a what's going on, what I need. I want to bless everyone who helps me, bless them. Everyone who got this just for the sake of watching my video and hearing me read this and explain everything. And for those who can help, bless you again, and thank God, for the community we live in, and thank God for the people. Like I said, I'm born Catholic, but as of about 25 years ago, July 1999, I have become LDS, and I became more religious now than probably was when before I got married. I love what I've learned, and that means nothing here, but just to tell you, I'm just, I want to say, bless you all who have helped me before. I want to thank those who at least have come to hear my video. And again, if anybody can help, again, my information is going to be oops, sorry, let me bring that back on the screen again. That was going to be my problem here. Okay, I can do this and read it. And you see, there's, if anyone can help, my payment options are there, my PayPal, my Venmo, and then I do have my address in case anyone wants to send a food order my way. Now, do me a favor if you do, so I don't have to read it or anything on the comments. I'll put my number right here. I don't care if people want to call me, tell me to keep my head up. That's great. But that number should pop on the screen there in front of you. Yeah, it's right there. So it's 385-227-5591. If you do some kind of food order or something and we're getting sent something, please let me know. I work at 3 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, which is about 5 o'clock on the Eastern or 2 o'clock on the Pacific. So in case you decide to do anything, you get this early, text me. Even text me if you have sent something so I can look out for it. But I'm sure I'll see it in my notifications if something pops on there. Again, I want to apologize for having to do a video in this way, but it's become to a point where I have to do something a little more urgent. And to be honest, sorry, I do apologize, but I have to find a way to fix the problems I got right now. If anyone can, again, if anyone can help, my information is on the screen. Like I said here, I will update things when I know how things are going. So I'll post on a video with what's going on. Again, letting people know that I have received help or got help another way. Just I know I got people who do care about me. I got a few people that always want to know how things are going. Again, my best, and bless you to all who have come to at least stay long enough to read it, and bless you those who are able to assist me. And I thank you all again, and have a great rest of your evening, and hope to hear from you. Use some text. I'm here. Please say hello, and I do appreciate your time.